the stuff that scared me when I was younger, and what also excited me and got me really involved in this type of theming and design work. Now having the opportunity to do it at this scale is a lot of fun.
Growing up in Plains, Pennsylvania, every Saturday there was a double matinee, double feature, really bad horror movies, and my mom or my cousin's mom, with my aunt, would take me and my brother and the two of them and drop us off and give us $2, and $2 got you in, got you a Coke and a hot dog and popcorn, and we'd sit there for like 4 hours watching 2 movies, and then they'd pick us up again. And that was, then we would go home, and it was in Pennsylvania, so we had a basement, unlike down here, and we built a spook house. We charged a nickel a piece for the kids in the town to come into our spook house.
I think we all built haunted houses. I remember my first budget was $85, and when I was all said and done, I built it into the garage. But when I got to the end of my $85, it was just not enough. Now we have millions of dollars. It's just not enough.
Anybody else have a question out there?
I actually have two. One, when you did like the World War scare zone, is that where you got the idea for the Nightingale house for this year?
Yeah, actually that house was designed by the character first. And from that it expanded upon where do we feel it best fits an environment that these characters would actually come to, basically to be. So we placed it on World War I.
Okay, and two, is there a reason why we can't do the Marvel or Harry Potter areas for like scare zones and houses? Because I personally would like to see Carnage, and because with the Dementors and everything, it just sort of fits with the Halloween mood.
Well, we've actually done Marvel before in the past. We haven't done Harry Potter because we haven't moved the event back over there just yet. The question does get asked every year, are we going to go back to Islands, or are we going to be able to do something with Potter? Well, every year we look at what is the best environment for our characters. This year we stayed at Universal Studios for the 21st year. Next year, we don't know. Like I said, every year is always a great toss-up, and that becomes a big question for us that we know you guys look for every year, where we're going to be. So you never know. We head back that way. We might be in those worlds. We might be able to create characters and environments that you've never seen associated with those different lands.
Could you perhaps like do both parks at one time? That way you can get people spread out everywhere. So that way you can have not only clear up with the crowds and everything, but perhaps they can like provide more money for you.
Like tape that? Is that tweeted somewhere? No, except my favorite year was 2004, which was the two-park year. I think we definitely have done it. Will we do it again? Probably. When? I don't know. I think it all really depends on the level of excitement, the level of interest that you guys bring us, because that really would expand the park, expand the event. You know, for you guys who've been coming since the early days, you've seen it grow, you've seen it kind of change. Yeah, like down here. Everything works with that answer, surprisingly. You know, on one side, it definitely is all about theatrics and about entertainment. That's what we represent. That's what we actually are responsible for. But at the same time, it's a business, too. Then we're looking to figure out how we can provide you the best product at a cost that really is reasonable. But if you keep coming back more, you know, the more opportunity for us to grow the event really becomes easier on our end. So that's something that definitely keeps expanding. And you can see, you know, over 21 years ago, we started with one house, 3 nights. Now we're at 20-some nights this year, 8 houses, 6 scare zones, 2 shows. One in the back,
There was a house last year, Psycho Scarabee, where it had this big red button and you push it and something scary happened. I don't remember, but like as far as interacting with the people in the house and scare zones go, do you have any plans for the future of that?
Yeah, we have, I know the button you're talking about, and that was something that David put in last year, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We have other things we've done this year, and you'll have to wait and see what those things are. I'm not going to give it away, and you'll know what it is. But yeah, we're always looking for one of the houses, the in-between, the 3D house. David Hughes literally came up with one of the rooms in there because he had one of these little lasers that shoots all laser lights up, and he had it out in his backyard shooting it into the trees. And he went, that's pretty cool the way that's hitting the trees like that. Now this was a little cheap one, so we went to our lighting group and we said, hey, here's something, we showed them what it was. And we said, could you do this? And of course they bought a much better laser, or had much better lasers. And the way we put it into one of the rooms, it blows your mind, because we're using two different colors, a green and a red color, with the chromatic glasses. It's crazy. So yeah, we're always looking at what new thing we can do.
Something funny that stuck out to me in one of the surveys was rating the different scare zones between 1 and 5, and one of the ratings was the bathrooms. Are you planning on doing anything with that ever, or was that just like a random, hey, do you want a scary bathroom?
I think it was very bad. I think it said, are you paying attention? Yeah, no, we try as best as possible to kind of get as much immediate feedback through surveys. I know that we actually have a lot of online surveys that we ask you guys to do. This type of experience is hugely valuable for us as designers and creators to figure out what it is you guys like, what it is you'd like to see us do better, what do you like to see us change. So those are the things that definitely, anytime you get a chance to do it, hopefully the bathrooms aren't that scary around here. But please let us know. It's a big part of what it is that we do every year.
I remember when we were designing for Islands of Adventure, and we had all of these amazing things going on in each of the islands, except Seuss. Seuss we were going to leave alone. So what we did is we flooded it with fog, turned the lights out, and had dogs barking on the sight sound. And it rated higher than some of the other ones.
You never know.
People are afraid of not knowing. Yep.
You mentioned Saws and Steam going to the Jaws area, notoriously the hottest house of the bunch. I can't imagine that's a coincidence. And it's summer, basically, essentially, all the way through the rest of the year. So are we actually going to experience not only heat there, but cold in like the Forsaken and maybe the Thing?
Yes. And last night we were in Saws and Steam, and with smoke shooting out of pipes leading into the factory of the horizon of Saws and Steam, it looks like a big factory with smoke coming out of the top, and you go in there, and Jaws is always a challenge because it's hot. It's claustrophobic. You're working within an existing queue, so there are facility pieces that you have to work around. There's posts that we can't cut out because they're part of the Jaws queue. So it really works well because you're snaking through these posts. You're confined. It's hot, and you're going through a steam house. We're creating steam. We're taking water and creating steam at the end of it, and electricity, that's going to be shot at you.
And then we'll get some relief with cold, isn't it?
Yes, in the other house.
Yes, and it's been nice and cold in those houses.
So we only have time for one more question. However, if you have additional questions, I know these guys are going to stick around a little bit so that you can come up to them and ask those directly. But from Twitter, our last question comes from Sarah Lico, and she asks about hearing a little bit more about Lady Luck and who she is and why she does what she does.
Well, part of Lady Luck actually has this wonderful story that we're waiting to tell you. Like anything, we're looking at possibly giving you a hint of who she is and where she's been and how she's interacted over time next week online. So pay attention to that. But her question, basically, as we said, she's been here since the beginning of time. Every time there's been a choice, a faithful choice, a critical choice that you've had to make or somebody else has made, she's been there. And we say that she's not what you consider her to be. That's why she's the two worlds. You think she's pretty, you think she's there to help you, you think she's actually good luck. The reality is, in our world, she's bad luck. You do not want her by your side.
Sometimes she's flesh and blood. Sometimes she's just simply a choice of posters to either enlist or not. And sometimes she's just a bad decision.
She chose poorly.
More on that next week as I get the last game.
All right, great.